Hello, everyone. This week, we are going to look at strategic planning. So, what is strategic planning? Strategic planning focuses on developing plans and strategies for products and their pricing, promotion, and strategy. Let's look at some of our learning objectives. Learning objective number one is to explain what a value proposition is, understand why a company may develop different value propositions for different target markets. Objective number two, explain how a mission statement helps the company with its strategic planning. Describe how a firm analyzes its internal environment. Describe the external environment a firm may face and how it is analyzed. Our third objective is to explain how companies develop the objectives driving their strategies. Describe the different types of product strategies and market entry strategies that companies pursue. Our fourth objective is to identify the different levels at which strategic planning may occur within firms. Understand how strategic planning that occurs at multiple levels in an organization helps the company achieve its overall corporate objectives. Number five is to explain how SBUs, or strategic business units, are evaluated using the Boston Consulting Group's matrix. Also, explain how businesses and the attractiveness of industries are evaluating using the second approach, the general electric approach. So, what is a value proposition? A value proposition is introduced, and two examples can be provided. Number one, organizations typically develop plans and strategies that outline how they want to go about this process. Number two, organizations must also offer value to customers, and graduates must provide value to their employers. Value proposition is a 30-second elevator speech stating the specific benefits a product or service offering provides to a buyer. Show why a product or service is superior to competing offers. Hence, the value proposition becomes a critical component in shaping strategies. Several things that go into the value proposition. Buyers evaluate products and services to see if they provide the benefits they desire. Firms have to develop the value proposition before they can develop a strategy for selling their products and services. Benefits gained by buyers should always be the focus of the value proposition. Never mention the profits of the firm. Firms always create different value propositions for different target markets, just as individuals may develop a different value proposition for different employers. Individuals should develop value propositions to assist them in their educational and career goals. The value proposition really answers the question, why should I buy from you? Or why should I hire you? Firms segment markets and then identify different target markets they want to reach when they're developing their value propositions. The value proposition tells each group of customers or prospective employer why they should buy a product or service, vacation to a particular destination, donate to an organization, hire you, and so forth. Once the benefit of a product or service are established, the firm then must develop strategies that support the value proposition. The value proposition serves as a guide for this process. Individuals and students should also develop their own personal value propositions. Next, we're going to focus on the components of the strategic planning process. This will include the importance of mission statements in strategic planning and the process of analyzing the internal and external environments. Strategic planning is usually a long-term process that helps an organization allocate its resources to capitalize on opportunities in the marketplace. The strategic planning process includes developing the organization's mission statement, objectives, value proposition, and strategies. The following figure, figure 2.2, outlines the components of the strategic planning process. We can see that the strategic planning process starts with a situation analysis, which looks at external and internal factors for the organization. Then we move on to developing a mission statement, objectives for the firm, as well as value proposition and formulating the strategy of the firm. As part of the strategic planning process, a situation analysis must be conducted before a company can decide what to do going forward. A situation analysis involves analyzing both the external, macro and micro factors outside the organization and internal company environments. Internal factors are financial resources, technological resources, and capabilities of its personnel and their performance. External macro and micro factors are competitors and the economy. So what does conducting a SWOT analysis include? First of all, SWOT, SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths and weaknesses are internal factors, opportunities and threats are external factors. Examples of strengths may include its brand name, efficient distribution network, reputation for great service, and strong financial position. Example of weaknesses may include its lack of awareness of its products in the marketplace, a lack of human resources talent, and a poor location. Opportunities may include international demand for products, few competitors, and favorable social trends. Threats may include a bad economy, high interest rates, and an underqualified workforce. Internal factors are specific to company or individual. External factors, on the other hand, affect multiple individuals and companies. They are present regardless of the existence of the individual or companies. Let's look at how we can assess the internal environment. Organizations evaluate their strengths in order to capitalize on opportunities that will make the most of what the company is good at. Organizations evaluate their weaknesses in order to minimize the effect on their business and work toward converting a weakness into a strength. Managers need to examine both the past and current strategies of their firms and determine what strategies succeeded and which ones failed. The Tropicana example in the textbook illustrates how a change in packaging can affect sales. On the other hand, assessing the external environment is very different. External factors are largely uncontrollable, but can have a tremendous impact on the way the organization does business. The macro environment includes economic factors, demographic trends, cultural and social trends, political and legal regulations, technological changes, and the price and availability of natural resources. The microenvironment includes competition, suppliers, marketing intermediaries, for example, retailers and wholesalers, the public, the company, and customers. Companies must focus on factors that are relevant for their operations. Going forward, we are going to look at the five forces model developed by Porter, and figure 2.5 represents the five forces model. When a firm conducts a competitive analysis, it needs to focus on direct competitors and it needs to try to determine its strengths and weaknesses, its image, and its resources. Competitive analysis involves looking at any information available on competitors. Another means of collecting competitive information utilizes mystery shoppers or people who act like customers. According to Porter, in addition to their direct competitors, organizations must consider the strength and impact the following can have: substitute products, potential entrants in the marketplace, the bargaining power of suppliers, the bargaining power of buyers. We also need to look at the political and legal environment. All organizations must comply with government regulations and understand the political and legal environments in which they conduct business. Different government agencies enforce different regulations that have been established to protect both customers and businesses. For example, the Sherman Act of 1890 prohibits U.S. firms from restraining trade by creating monopolies and cartels. We also need to look at the economic environment. Economic factors include variables such as inflation, unemployment, interest rates, and whether the economy is in a growth period or in recession. Inflation occurs when the cost of living continues to rise, eroding the purchasing power of money. During a recessionary period, it's possible for both high-end and low-end products to sell well. We also need to look at the demographic and social and cultural environments. The demographic and social and cultural environment, including social trends such as people's attitudes towards fitness and nutrition, demographic characteristics such as people's age, income, marital status, education and occupation, and culture which relates to people's beliefs and values are constantly changing in the global marketplace. We also need to evaluate technology. For example, self-scanners and video displays at stores, ATM machines, the internet, and mobile phones are a few examples of high technologies affecting businesses and consumers. Mobile marketing and online advertising are being used along with traditional media. Applications for telephones and electronic devices allow customers to comparison shop without having to visit multiple stores. We also need to look at natural resources. Consumers are increasingly concerned about the environment and the impact their purchases have on it. Businesses engage in sustainable practices and help protect the environment and conserve natural resources. Green marketing involves marketing environmentally safe products and services in a way that is good for the environment. Then we need to move on with the development of the firm's mission statement, which in fact states the purpose of the organization, why it exists. Both profit and non-profit organizations have mission statements which they often publicize. Next, we are going to look at developing organizational objectives and formulating strategies. Objectives are what the company wants to accomplish and should be realistic and measurable with specific timeframes. Lower level objectives should be consistent with corporate level objectives. Strategies are plans of action firms employ to reach their objectives. Tactics include specific actions such as coupons, television commercials, banner ads, etc., taken to execute the strategies. Firms often use multiple strategies to accomplish their objectives and capitalize on marketing opportunities. A marketing plan is, in fact, a strategic plan at the functional level that provides a firm's marketing group with direction. We're going to briefly look at the marketing plan, but in fact, we'll focus more on it in chapter 16. So, the marketing plan is a revenue producing element in the corporate or strategic plan. It describes where we are going with products and how we can get there. There are several product and market entry strategies: market penetration, product development, market development, and diversification. We are going to look at figure 2.12 more closely. Figure 2.12 examines the different market entry strategy in terms of their low risk or high risk. We can see that on the left-hand side is exporting, which is the lowest risk, the lowest investment, and lowest control. And the market entry strategy that is characterized by the highest risk, highest investment, and highest control is a direct investment. Next, we are going to look at the different portfolio planning approaches. The first one is the Boston Consulting Group matrix, and the second one is the General Electric approach. Two popular approaches: Boston Consulting Group or BCG and General Electric Business and Industry Model. The Boston Consulting Group matrix helps companies evaluate each of its strategic businesses based on two factors: the strategic business unit's market growth rate and the strategic business unit's relative market share. Because the BCG matrix assumes that profitability and market share are highly related, it is a useful approach for making business and investment decisions. This is the Boston Consulting Group or BCG matrix. We can see that the different businesses are characterized in terms of market growth and market share. On the x-axis, we have the market share. On the y-axis, we have the market growth. The General Electric approach examines a business strength, and attractiveness of the industry in which it competes. Companies